Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Happy Sunday. It's good to be back with y'all. Happy Sunday, y'all. We're gonna get into some charts today. We're gonna give it about another 2-3 minutes or so. Get a few more people to kind of join in on the chat. On the stream. We're gonna get into it. Man, I hope everybody had a pretty good week last week. On the trading tip, it was a little slow last week. It started to pick up later on in the week, but the week started off real slow, and so yeah, I was able to catch a few trades closer to the end of the week, but the beginning of the week, it was extremely slow. And not to mention, school just started back for my kids last week, and yeah, it's been extremely busy. So a lot of times I say, if my mind is clouded with other stuff going on, I don't like to trade during them times because I make a lot of mistakes like that. So when I have a lot of things going on, I kind of disassociate myself from the charts a little bit, and I kind of wait till I'm more focused, because you gotta have a clear head. You gotta have that mindset when you're actually going into the charts. If you don't, then you'll get blasted every time. Appreciate the few that's joined already. Hey, if y'all can just throw something in the chat and say what's up. Just want to say hi to y'all. See who we got joining for the day. Go ahead and like the video as well. I appreciate it. Like I said, I think we got a pretty good week coming up this week. Market should give us some nice opportunities this week. I see a lot of things that's setting up on the USD side for some big moves, and even from the Canadian side. So CAD pairs, they should see some action this week as well. I'm expecting some big moves, and I might do a few swing trades this week, just to see how it goes. Let's see what time it is. It's 2:05. We'll give everybody about 2 more minutes and we're gonna hop into it. We're not gonna be here long, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna look at the market. We're gonna see what opportunities we got. And as always, if you guys have any pairs that you want to see, me mark up, I'll be happy to do it. Just go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll go ahead and mark them up for you guys. Closer to the end of the video, or I'll even say it at the beginning of the video. Hey, if there's any videos or anything you guys to see me guys teach or anything like that, let me know, and I'll be happy to create those videos. Like I said, now I'm able to have a lot more time now that the kids are back in school, and things like that. So I'll get an opportunity to actually record a lot more now. So if there's any videos or any structured type analysis or things you guys want to see, I'll be happy to do it. And you know what? Excuse me. Let's go ahead and jump into it, man. We're gonna always start off with a word of prayer, and then we're gonna jump into it. All right. Dear Lord, I want to thank you for this day. I want to thank you for life, health, and strength, Lord. I want to thank you for everybody who was on this call, those who are currently on here now, and those who will be joining in the future, Lord. I pray that their families are healthy. I pray that they are healthy and safe. I pray for their kids that's going back to school. Lord, I pray that this channel can provide a blessing for anyone that it encounters, Lord. I pray that the things that are taught here and the collaboration of the people who join our chats can be a blessing to everybody, Lord. Not just to those who join, but also a blessing to me and to everyone, Lord. I just pray that whoever is involved with this channel you know, they can be blessed with financial freedom. And Lord, we ask these things in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and jump into it. So, as we can see, starting off the week, most times, like I like to say, Sundays and Mondays is usually slow for those who are new. I don't usually do a lot of trading on Sundays and Mondays. And as you can see, it's not really a lot of action that's going on Sundays or Mondays. However, on tomorrow, we see at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, we got some AUD news. And for those who trade gold, AUD correlates with gold. So we should see some movement with gold on Monday, possibly that night. But if you're trading any AUD pairs, just be mindful that you got some action 8:30 that night. All right. And another thing that we're going to do as well, I believe we had this same thing last month. So I know we got a request to mark up AUD USD. One of the things I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look back on the calendar and see exactly when this monetary policy happened with AUD. And I wanna kind of look and see what kind of movement it had last month. That way we can kind of use that as a confluence for this month to see if we possibly might get some of the same moves, okay? And we can see that this is the second week of August. So this possibly happened in the second week last month. So we'll check it out and see. We can see on Tuesday, CAD pairs will have some movement. We got CPI on CAD pairs at 7:30 Central Time in the morning. And we can see there's a lot of news on CAD that morning. So we should see a lot of action on the Canadian pairs Tuesday morning. That's when the fireworks is gonna start jumping off. And we can also see Tuesday morning again, we have AUD news as well. And then we have NZD news popping off at 9 p.m. Central. So as you can see, we have a lot of red folders on NZD. So that night during the Asian session, we will possibly see a lot of action. So those who trade NZD pairs, just be mindful. Even if you don't trade NZD pairs and you're thinking about it, just take a look at them and kind of see what the market is gonna do on Tuesday. You know, kind of look at the setups, just to kind of see what the market might want to get to, what prices is looking at, what the story of that pair, whatever pair you're looking at. If it's an NZD pair, you know, just kind of check it out and see what it's going to do. We also see Wednesday morning during the London session, we can see that GBP pairs is going to start popping off. And then also Wednesday morning, we have USD pairs that's going to start having some traction as well. We can see we got FOMC at 1 p.m. for USD pairs. So we already know during that time, we have big movements. And so for those who are advanced traders and they trade Wyckoff and things like that, that's where you might see your springs. That's where if you have Wyckoff setups, that's where you might see price come back to tap into whatever entries you have that coincide with your trading range and things like that. So on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Time, we're going to see a lot of movement on USD pairs, okay? Also that night, AUD pairs as well. We're going to see some movement on that. Going into Thursday, we have some orange pairs on USD. So we'll see a little bit of movement. And then we also have an orange pair at 12:20 as well. Another FOMC, we have, remember, George speaking. All right. Going into Friday, we can see we're kind of closing it off with a little bit of action on GBP and then kind of closing it off the Canadian pairs, okay? So now let's go back to, like we said, AUD, within the second week of the month, it kind of gave us some action. So let's go back to July and let's kind of see on the second week if we had any AUD news or anything like that during the night. If we had, you know what, let's go back to actually see what it was. So if we come back to this week here, we can see that was monetary policy meeting minutes, all right? So let's go back to July and see if we had something, some sort of confluence in July with that. Let's go to the first week, kind of check it out. Okay, AUD. Like I said, this is the first week, nothing that first week. Let's look into the second week of July. See if we had anything to pop off. Okay, we had AUD unemployment and unemployment rates. but I don't see anything for the monetary policy for AUD as of yet. Okay, let's look into that third week. There we go right here. So it happened July 18th, okay? So actually, let's start off with AUD because I know that was one of the pairs that was requested. The USD. And let's go back to July 18th around 8:30 p.m. and kind of see exactly what the market was giving us. Let me actually remove some of this stuff here. Okay, we can actually delete this because I thought this was turning out to be something, but actually it was not. So we want to go back to July 18th, which was right around this time at 8:30 that night. So let's see, that's 1, 2, wait a minute. Let me go to the hourly time frame. Wait a minute, go back to the 4 hour. And we want to go to July 18th. Okay, let's put a box around this area here, that way we know where we are. Okay, we'll just put a box around this area. Okay, let's go to the hourly time frame. That way we know exactly where we are. All right, so July 18th. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 was right around this area here. Right here, but we was on the 30-minute. So if we go back to the 30-minute and see when the news popped off around that time, we can see that we had a lot of movement at that time. So the actual news for that AUD was here, and we can see it definitely just staircased up from there. So if we go to the hourly time frame just to kind of look at what price did at that time, we can see that right here gave us a doji and pretty much gave us like a morning star or some sort of situation where it kind of skyrocketed up from there. As we can see from this move here, this thing actually shot up about 100 pips or so, and that took, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 10 hours or so. But I mean, if you would have caught this move here, you can tell that from this move, it actually came up, gave us a higher high, gave us a higher low. That actually impulse came right into this demand level here. And right into this demand level, and then shot off and never came back. I mean, you could have actually rode it up to this liquidity area here. You could have rode it up to the top of this liquidity area here, which would have gave you, that'd have been about 49, 50 pips or so. You could have put your stop loss, in profit, and you could have rode it. You could have took partial profits and just let it go, because as you can see, this thing, it just kept going. From last month, if you look at the profit from last month, from this area all the way up to here, that's about 300 some pips that it shot off. So we do know that monetary situation, it will give us some movement. So that's happening tomorrow at let's see what time is happening tomorrow. So on AUD, and that's some of the things we do. We just kind of look at what happened this month and go back to last month to kind of see if we see any trend. So this will happen tomorrow at 8:30. So for those who are trading AUD for tomorrow, just be mindful that you might see some movement at that time, okay? But for right now, let's go ahead and look at an overall analysis of AU to kind of see exactly what price wants to do, okay? So from a daily perspective, let me make this a little bigger. So from a daily perspective, we can see that we're still bearish. We're in a downtrend, okay? So we'll mark this up. We can see from here let's start up here. We see we have a lower high. We have a daily lower low. Lower high, we have a daily lower low here. We have a lower high here. And we have another lower low in this area right here from a daily perspective. And so now price is possibly coming up. And let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. We can see that price is coming back to possibly give us another lower low. So if we take our fibs from this swing high here down to this swing low, okay, we can see it's approaching this 78.6, which is a really, really good confluence. And I'll say that because we have a supply zone right here in this area here. I'll cover this entire area because we have an imbalance here. And we can see that we have a supply zone here, which is right in confluence with our 78.6. So possibly we might be looking at a move for price to possibly come into this supply zone somewhere up in this area and possibly give us a dip to the downside, because we're still bearish. And so the ultimate target that I'm looking for, which will take some time, is possibly this 0.65500 area, which is a bank level. It's a bank mid level, and I'll put this on here. And then we can come back later on, a couple weeks from now, just to actually see if price actually got to this area. It's not a guarantee that it will, but you know, we'll see what it do. I'll make this black. Okay. I mean, it might wick beyond this and come to this negative 27, but that's my ultimate bias for AU. But let's kind of break it down to the different time frames and see what we have. Okay. So as you guys can see, we're bullish right now. We can see that price came down, gave us a higher low, broke up, gave us another higher high. You know, all of this here was noise that possibly gave fake outs. And I say that because, as you can see from a 4-hour perspective, it was giving us good market structure, staircases. Broke structure here, kind of came down a little bit more, and then from there, it staircased up again, okay? But we're in bullish momentum right now, okay? So from a 4-hour perspective, like I said, I'm looking for price to get up to this area. And what I'll do, I'll actually set an alert right up in this area. That way when price get up here, it'll let me know to look at it. AU hit 78.6 golden zone. Okay. And I'll also make sure that this is in our Discord chat as well. That way when it hit up in this area, everybody will know. Let's go ahead and do that right now so we don't forget. Let me find something that has that content on it. Let me come here, copy this here, go back to this. We're gonna paste that in our webhook, and let me save that. And I also want to take this to make sure you know exactly what it's gonna say. So we'll all see this when it's come into our Discord chat. That way we all have this alert, okay? There we go. So once price kind of get up here, I want to see exactly what it's going to do. But let's drop down to the 1-hour time frame just to kind of look and see. Because the smaller time frame will give us those breadcrumbs as to where the market is going before the big time frames will. So as we can see from this perspective, we have a high, higher low, higher high. This is possibly a higher low here, okay? So before we're actually looking just where the market is right now, before we're looking to go in another direction, we want to look at this area here as our 1-hour breakup structure, okay? If we have a break of structure in this area here, this will give us our 1 hour break of structure, and we'll be waiting for a retest. But right now, I'm not necessarily looking for that. I want to see if price will get up to the supply zone, give us a little something, a break of structure in this area, retest, and then come to the downside. Because if we catch that, we can definitely catch a lot of pips coming down. Even if we took it, you know, past this 50 area here, which is in confluence with an imbalance, you know, right around this area here. So like I said, I want to see what price will give us, but I'll put an alert on this this break of structure as well. Let's see. Let me copy this here. So this is AU 1 hour BOS. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much what I have on AU. Come back to a bigger time frame. I definitely want to see it tap into that area, you know, kind of give us that lower high to confirm it and then drop down. Okay. That's what I want to see pretty much on AU. It's pretty simple. It's showing really good market structure. It's not going to be too hard. So possibly that monetary news might give us the push up to this area here, or it might give us the break of structure. Any way it go, you know, we have alerts on it either direction and we can be ready for it. All right. Also, if you guys have any other pairs you want to see within the chat, you want to see me mark up, please put them in there. I'll be happy to do it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right. Let's go ahead and look at GU. We can see GU as well. Most of the USD pairs that have USD in the denominator, like for example, GBP USD, most of those you're gonna probably see that they're gonna probably be bearish. A lot of these are pretty much given bearish market structure, okay? So we can see we have a lower high here. We pretty much follow our same rules like we always do. We don't make it complicated. We just keep it simple. We pretty much, as they say, we kiss it. We keep it simple, stupid. That's what we do. All right, right here we have a lower high. I'm sorry, a lower low, a daily lower low. Make sure this is bigger so everybody can see it. We have a lower high in this area here. It's not confirmed because we haven't broken this area here. But in the meantime, we'll put this here as our lower low though. That's confirmed. So this is possibly our lower high. Until price breaks this, it's not confirmed. So let's kind of look and see what price is doing right now. We want to go ahead and take our Fibonacci tool, throw it on here, and as we can see, price has wicked our 78.6. And what did it give us, you guys? For those who know market structure and patterns, and let me make this a little bit darker and a little bit thicker, and I'll make this red so we can all see it. This gave us a double top. So for those who don't know, double tops are M formations, which mean that price is getting ready to drop. So we can see that we have a perfect double top that tapped in twice on our 78.6. And what did it do? It did a few things. So it tapped into this imbalance right here, took out this imbalance right here. And then we also had a supply zone right in this area here. Hold on one second, you guys. Thank you. Sorry about that, you guys. My wife just made me some crab balls with shrimp in them, so I'm excited about that. All right, you guys. So as you can see, we have a supply zone right up in this area here. Let's drop to a 4 hour first. That's not all the way defined. So we can see that price tapped into this supply zone in this area right here. Hold on for a second. Right here, we had a supply zone, price tapped into it. And then from there, we got the dip off. But let's look exactly what price is doing in this area that kind of gave us all of that action. So we can see in this area here, we had price to actually staircase up. Okay. It was bullish in this area here. And then what did we get? We got a break of structure in this area here. This was a 4-hour BOS. Okay. We got a break of structure in this area. Price came back to retest the supply zone here and then start to give us a dip off. So if we drop to the 15-minute time frame, let's actually look and see what we have here on the 15-minute time frame. So we can tell that price came, gave us the break of structure, started to pull back or whatever in this area here. And we can see, check this out, price came up, gave us a higher high, higher low, higher high when it came up and dipped into this supply zone. From this area here, from a 15-minute perspective, price gave us a break of structure. And then it came back to retest. We can see there was an imbalance right up in this area here. So it came to kind of test this imbalance right up in this area right here. Okay, tap that imbalance, and then from there it started to dip off. Okay, so now from this perspective, we're already in bearish momentum. So now in order for us to catch this, you know, catch a good entry for something on GU or something like that, let's go ahead and utilize this swing here and this swing low. We want to see price dip into this golden zone right up in here. If price can come back and tap into the supply zone right here on the 15-minute for GU, we can possibly catch the continuation of this drive to kind of come all the way down. Okay, let's go back to the 4-hour just to kind of look at where price is right now. So we can see that right with the supply zone, we also have a 4-hour imbalance right here that's a little bit below our supply zone. So we want to make sure we notate that as well. No, we don't want to use this. Let's use this arrow. And then what we can do, you guys, we can put an alert right before this. So we want to see price dip into the supply zone here and then possibly dip off to the downside, where we can kind of catch that continuation of that pattern. Hey Ish, what's going on, man? This here is a 4-hour imbalance. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and put an alert right on this 4-hour imbalance. That way, now let's do it beforehand. I don't want to do it right there. Let's kind of do it right here at the 50. Yeah, let's put an alert right here. GU approaching 4-hour imbalance and golden zone. Okay, I'm gonna save that. But like I said, I want to make sure that we all get this alert. Let me copy this, go back to this alert. That way we all can kind of get this alert together in the Discord. All right, there we go. So for GU, if we look at this, you know, kind of sort of holistically, we can tell that, you know, price dipped into the supply zone, which was right at a 78.6 on a daily time frame. And so I'm looking for price to pretty much dip off. Hey Tracy, what's going on? So we looking for it to kind of dip off and possibly come to this this negative 27, which will actually take out all of this liquidity area here. So this can be a potential target for us right here, which is right around, this target is right around this 1.20700 area. I'll put that just so we know. Yeah, I'll put 700. 1.20700. That way we all kind of know exactly where price is going from a short-term perspective. But on a bigger time frame, when we're looking at this, I'm expecting price to pretty much go lower. I want to see price come down to this 1.16 area. But you know, if you're not a swing trader, the name of the game is to get in the market and get out. You know, you don't want to stay in the market too long and things like that, because there's a lot of uncertainty. There's no guarantee that price will get where you want it to go. Okay. But that's pretty much what we have on GU. You know, kind of similar to AU. Like I said, I'm expecting price to just come up to the supply zone or this 4-hour imbalance and then give us a dip to the downside. If we do catch this move here, that's possibly about 100 pips. It's about a good 100 pip move. You know, proper risk management, that's a really good move. Okay. So that's what we have on GU. All right, let's go over to EU. I'm expecting EU to probably look the same. This one was marked up a little bit from last week. I really didn't take any trades on EU last week. And as we can see, we're pretty much in the same boat. We're in bearish momentum. We can tell price came up into our 61.8 on a daily level. However, I do want to see price possibly come up to this 4-hour level here and maybe tap into this imbalance here. However, it might not, because the 61.8 is a really, really popular level for retracements. And we can see it gave us two rejections on a daily time frame. And now we're starting to dip off to the downside. Okay. And so with that, if we're looking at this from a market structure perspective on a 4-hour, we can see we got higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. No, this is not a higher low here. Higher high, higher low, higher high. So we're still in bullish momentum until we actually break this area down here. And so I'm not looking for that on a 4-hour right now. Let's drop to the 1-hour just to kind of see some of the same things. So we can tell, because we're looking at this from a macro perspective. We want to make sure that we don't get confused when we're looking at this. So if we're looking at this from a big picture perspective, here's the move. This is a higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, so we want to make sure that we don't get confused with all of this noise. This is macro structure here. This stuff in between, that's micro. That's all of the noise that can possibly fake you out. So until this low here is broken, we're still in bullish momentum. Okay, hence why I kind of expect or want to see price gets up at least to this 4-hour imbalance, or possibly get to this 78.6. Okay, so possibly what price is doing right now is possibly giving us a pullback, which is possibly a higher low. However, let's look and see where that pullback possibly will get us to. So if we put our fibs on this from this hourly perspective, we can see that it's dipped into the 50% area. So this possibly could be the area where it wants to turn around and start to go up. We just don't know. There's nothing that's really defined in this area. However, if we go to the 4-hour, we can see that we have an imbalance on the 4-hour time frame right in this area here. And so what I would like to see, price to possibly come to this imbalance, or at least dip into this 61.8. You know, we have a little small demand zone right in this area here that it can possibly dip into, and then possibly go back to the upside. We're still in overall big picture bearish momentum, but on a smaller time frame, we're looking to go up a little bit. So I hope I didn't confuse anybody. So basically, let's kind of look at this again. If we come back to a daily perspective, all right, I'm looking for price to possibly, let me remove this. We're looking for price to possibly come up and close this 4-hour imbalance here. This is a lot of unhealthy price action, and we can see that this price needs to be closed out because it's still an open orders from a bank perspective. And we also have a continuation supply zone, which is a bearish, bullish, bearish right in this area here, okay? And so we can just literally come down to this entire area to kind of just cover this situation here if we wanted to. So we'll put this as a supply here. I'll move it up some. I'll keep it consistent right there. Pull it down to this imbalance right there. So I want to see price come up to this daily supply and then possibly dip back off to the downside. However, we could see price break this area and then maybe continue to the upside. We don't know, but we have to see what price is going to do. So I want to put an alert right at this 1.04 thousand area. That'll let me know that price wants to come up to the supply zone and maybe tap that area. So we'll say EU approaching, we'll just say POI. That'll make it a whole lot easier. Let me grab this here to make sure that we all get this alert. Okay, but that's pretty much what I have on EU. It's in, like I said, it's in bearish momentum as well. So we're looking for price to possibly come up here, tap into this area, and then come to the downside. Okay. All right. Oh, also, if you guys see have any other pairs that you want to see me mark up, I'll be happy to do it. Just put it in the chat, and I'll go ahead and mark those up for you. All right, you guys, let's look at USD CAD. So being that USD CAD is in the numerator, I'm kind of expecting USD CAD to be bullish and kind of go up. Hold on one second. Oh man, this is busting right here, y'all. Okay. So I'm looking for USD CAD to possibly be bullish. However, I still think USD CAD wants to come down just slightly before it continue up. The reason why I say that is because we can see that USD CAD is bullish overall. We're making daily higher highs and higher lows. But right now, USD CAD is resting right in between the 61.8 and the 78.6. So we're clearly in the golden zone. However, let's see if there's something that it can bounce off of, because it can possibly come all the way down to this area here, because we have a demand zone down here with a 4-hour imbalance. All this unhealthy price action that has not been tapped into. So we have all these unfulfilled orders. But if we come to a 4-hour perspective, let's see if we have anything close that price can possibly bounce off of. So I still don't see anything as of yet. Let's drop down to the 3-hour. Okay, so let's look at this for a second. All right, this area here from a 3-hour perspective, we have this demand zone right in this area here that price can possibly bounce off of. Okay, let's go back to the 4-hour so we can move this over. And this is right around a 78.6, so it might wick past this and it might not. You know, we don't know exactly what it's going to do, but we want to be patient and wait for that break of structure. So this is our demand zone here. Okay. Oh, another thing I want to talk to you guys about as well, because some people in our group, they look at breakup structures a little bit different, and there's two different ways you can look at breakup structures. when the market is going in the same direction, you can look at it as a break of structure. And if it decides to turn the other direction, you can look at that what is called a choke, which is in essence a change of character. And I'll explain what that is, because some people look at the market like that. So I do want to kind of explain that in that way. If some people are looking at the market like that, they can identify what we talk about when we say a break of structure or a change of character or a choke and all that kind of thing. I don't really do change of characters or mark them up like that all the time when I mark up, but I did do that a lot in the past, and it still holds true. I mean, it's not a right or way to do it. It's just how you interpret the market. And so I'll just give a quick example right quick. Let's just say, let me go to a clean area. Let's just say if the market is coming down in a downward structure like this, okay? And some traders, they look at these areas here as break of structures. And then when the market decides to turn around and come in this area here and break this area here, instead of them calling this a break of structure, they'll call this a choke, which is a change of character. Okay? So I just wanted to kind of put that out there. That way, if some traders actually look at the market like this and they see me, because I don't use the term choke a lot, but if you see me do a break of structure, because that's what I look at a lot. I look at break of structures when they go the opposite direction. If you see that like that, then, and I'll say on break of structure, if you're the type of trader that use change of characters, you will know what I'm talking about and you can identify with what I'm talking about. Okay? I hope that cleared that up. And what I'll also do, I'll do a video on this as well, on shows and things like that. But just for those who look at the market like this, I just wanted to put that out there. That way you can identify with how I mark up, and you can identify it and relate it to how you actually mark up and things like that. I hope that helps. Okay, so let's see, USD CAD. What we're looking at right now, I'm looking for price to possibly dip into this demand zone here and then possibly give us a dip to the upside. If it breaks this demand zone, I would like to see it come down to this 4-hour imbalance and then go up to the upside. Either way is a lot of pips that we can actually look to catch on USD CAD to the upside. So with that being said, I do want to put an alert right before this demand zone. USD CAD approaching demand zone. Okay, make sure I capture this, that way it'll go into our chat. Okay, and also if we drop to a smaller time frame, let's just look at the market just to see what it's doing. And actually it almost looked like we have a break of structure or a change of character in this area. Let's check it out. So as you can see, we had a lower low, lower high, lower low, got a break of structure or a change of character in this area right here. So I'm gonna keep saying break of structure because that's how I identify it, and that's most of the lingo that I've been teaching for a while. Okay, so we have a break of structure in this area right here. So we're getting a pullback. So this possibly could be the move to take us up, but I'm not sure yet. So we just want to make sure that we're patient just to see exactly if that's gonna be what we want it to be. So one of the things that we can notice is we have a demand zone here that price can possibly tap into. price can possibly tap into this demand zone and then shoot to the upside. What we want to see though, how we can possibly determine if this is going to be the move that we're looking for. If price taps into this demand zone, we want to see, hold on, let me make this a little bigger. What we'll like to see to confirm our entry, if price taps into this demand zone and we get a break of structure on the 1 hour time frame, something like this. Oops. If we get something like this on a 1 hour time frame, I'm sorry, not the 1 hour, the 1 minute time frame. And then price come back and tap into some demand zone or something that's along this leg of structure here. Let's just say we got a small demand zone or something right up in this area here. If we get something like this within this demand zone and it taps into this area here, I'm hopping in it. I'm jumping in it. Entry would be something like that. It would be right up under this area, and I would possibly ride this all the way up to this liquidity area here. That's a 1 to 10 risk reward right off the jump. If we get price to tap into this demand zone, give us a break of structure on the 1 minute time frame, that's a good indication that we have a good entry point to hop in this thing. And actually looking at this, I think that I actually put my alert way too low. So let me move this alert up here. No, wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna move my alert up just to see exactly what it's gonna do. Because if it does that here, then we can possibly ride it up. However, if it comes down to this area and do it, then we'll wait for it to do kind of what it does, okay? But we do have an alert in this area to kind of see exactly what USD CAD is gonna do. And then from there, we can kind of govern ourselves accordingly, okay? All right, let's move over to, let's go to gold before we go to G-Chef, okay? Now gold has been doing some interesting things. I caught some pips on gold, but it didn't do the exact move that I wanted it to do last week. I was expecting it to get a lot lower. However, gold still has some room to go. I was expecting that drop when it wicked into the 61.8 because it wicked into an imbalance and then it dipped off. I caught a lot of pips. I took partials and things like that, but I moved my stop back to entry and it came and wicked me out, which is fine because I still got profit on it. However, one of the things I would like to see, if we're looking at gold from a big picture perspective, we can see that it's doing the same thing as all the other USD pairs. It's bearish. And so it's well within our golden zone, but I know gold likes to come back to 78.6 a lot. And so when things like that happen on a daily perspective, you definitely want to take advantage of it, because when it wicks into this area, it usually happens pretty fast, and then that thing dips off. And as you can see, let's just say when it does happen, I mean, let's just look at this move here. This entire huge move, when it created this entire leg of structure, this was 1900 overnight. This was almost 20,000 pips for this entire leg of structure. So just imagine if you catch something up here and you sit in it just to this lower low, the move would be here, right down to this 16 area. But if you just took it to this lower low here, from up in this area, just let's just say anywhere in this area, that's 1,300 pips that you'll be catching from a move like that. So that's huge. Just think if you took a 0.1, which is a dollar per pip, you usually got $1,300 if you sat in that thing like that. Granted, it'll take a few weeks for it to get there. That's $1,300. If you were the type of person that took a standard lot or something like that, that's 13 grand. So you know, with this particular move, I definitely want to keep eye on this because it can dip into this 61.8 again and then dip off, because this possibly is giving us maybe a double top or something like that. We don't know. But when we look at this from a 4-hour perspective, we can see we have bullish momentum. We can see higher high, higher low, higher high, possibly a higher low. It's not confirmed until this is broken. Okay. Now, one of the moves that I caught last week, I caught 2 moves actually. If we come to a 15-minute perspective, we can see that in this area, it gave, I'm gonna show you how some users possibly got faked out. Higher high, higher low, higher high, because it's higher than this one, higher low, higher high. And then look at this, it gave us a break of structure right here on the 15-minute. This thing retested perfectly. So if we took a fib and put this from down here to the swing high and swing low, it retested perfectly on the 61.8 on this supply zone right here. And this was the second move that I caught last week. The first move I actually caught up in this area here. And so I was in actually 2 moves. So if you look at this, let's just say you caught this. It dipped into the negative 61, the 61.8, gave a double top, dipped off. But as we can see, you know, it dipped off. It didn't quite take out the liquidity in this area. So from a smaller perspective, it wasn't quite the actual move. And so we're still looking at this from a big picture perspective, okay? What I mean by that is from a 4-hour perspective, we're still bullish. We never broke structure. So the move is like so. So this is possibly our higher high. But like I said, we were looking for that to break. So I want to see something like this. This is what I want to see, and possibly price come up to this area here. If we can get it to come up to this area, we might see a nice big dip off to come down to the downside, okay? So that's one of the things I want to look for. I'll be patient. If price breaks this area here, then I might be looking for something different. My bias might change. I'm not sure. But I'll put an alert right here and just say gold breaks short-term low. Okay. And I'll put this alert, make sure everybody can get it. Okay. So gold breaks short-term low. Right there. And we'll kind of see, govern ourselves accordingly, and kind of see exactly what gold will do. Okay. Now let's go on to G-Chef. Hey, you guys, if you, like I said, if you have any other pairs that you'd like to see me mark up, I'll be happy to do it. Just go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll mark them up for you guys. All right, our last pair is G-Chef. Let's kind of look at this thing. So as we can see, we actually don't even need this one. So from a daily perspective, we can see we're in bearish momentum with this as well. You know, lower high, lower low, lower high, dipped off to another lower low. We don't know exactly where this is going to stop or whatever, but let's kind of see if we can find something over here on this side over here. We can see that dipped into, look at this. Bullish, bearish, bullish. This is a daily demand zone right here. So price is in this area right now. So it dipped into this area. It's a daily demand zone. okay? So we have a daily demand zone that it dipped into. However, let's look and see if there's anything smaller within this area. Bar replay, drop to the 4-hour. So in the 4-hour, we do have an imbalance in this area here. Right now, I'll just put a line here. And I'll say this is a 4-hour imbalance. Let's drop to the 3-hour. We do have a supply zone in this area here. But let's drop to a smaller time frame to see if we have anything else. Yeah, that supply zone is in confluence with the 3-hour as well. So we'll notate that. We'll just do it for this entire area right here. Not supply, I'm sorry, demand zone, not supply zone. All right, let me go ahead and take off this here. So price might dip into this area here, tap that imbalance or tap this demand zone. Look like it just tapped into that imbalance already. That's exactly what it wicked off of initially. Look at that. It wicked off of that imbalance and this demand zone. So let's look at that. For our advanced traders, let's see if any Wyckoff was present when it dipped into this area. Drop into the 1-hour, 30 minute, 15. No, not necessarily. So I don't really see anything. Yeah, I don't really see anything. So for me, I would not necessarily be interested in this pair unless it actually broke structure in this area here, right around this 1.15 thousand. If it broke structure in that area, then I'll be looking for a pullback, a retest, and then a dip to the upside. However, if we were looking for continuation sales, like I said, nah, I wouldn't even look for that. For me, with this pair, because it's so low and it's just declining, I would want to see a break of structure in this area first. GBP Chef BOS. There we go. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for GBP Chef. You know, it's not too complicated, not too much going on with it. Like I said, it dipped into this 3-hour demand, this 4-hour imbalance, and we might see a pull up to the upside, but we'll just wait and see exactly what it's going to do. I'm expecting price to possibly make it up to this area here, at least, because we have a bearish, which created this supply zone here, and it hasn't been dipped into yet. So that's a good area that we can look at for price to possibly want to come back to. Okay. But for me, that's pretty much what I have. Hey, you guys. So for me, my kids just actually started school this past week, which gives me a lot more time to actually record videos. If there's any videos or anything that you guys like to see, that you like to see me record, please let me know. Put it in the chat. You can put it in our Discord channel. Either one, I'll be happy to do it. And so I have some videos that I need to do this week. I have a lot more time now that my kids is back in school. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for joining as always. I appreciate you guys as always. If there's anything that you guys need or want to ask me within the chat, please feel free. I'll be happy to get with you guys. Other than that, hey, have a great week of trading. I'll stay in communication with you guys, and I'll holler at y'all on the next video.